Hi, Sweet Pea.
Hi, Bummy Bear.
How are you doing?
I am doing all right. It's been 1 week in the new city, and it's quite something. It's quite different. I'm quite enjoying it. I'd definitely say I'm missing being in the countryside, being around just Hobbs and you, obviously.
Yeah.
Plants second. Secretly, the plants are first.
I totally believe that.
I'm kind of getting to know people, which is always nice.
Yeah. You've got some nice girls in your class.
Yeah, I have got some nice girls in my class, absolutely. It's funny because I'm in the medical school and it's like 99% are girls. So it's almost like I'm in an all-girls school, which I wouldn't say is my favourite thing in the whole wide world.
No, not ideal.
Because I think that guy best friends are very important as well.
Yeah, they are. You'll make some guy best friends.
Yeah, exactly, with the 1% who are there. But I'm really enjoying it. And then it's just kind of nice mooching around here, which I'm trying to call home now.
In your apartment.
In the little apartment. For example, I'd like you to say, got it. Like, say hello
one of
to
your
my
multiple pot plants.
A new member of the family, the Sweet Pea family.
Who is that?
This is Semperviva Arachnoideum, which is spider's web Sempervivum, because on each of the rosettes there's a web. It's like a spider's gone and kind of added its web.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
It's extraordinary, and it's really symmetrical as well. It's like radial symmetry.
There
we go.
Pop that back there. This kind of content our listeners want.
Yes, it's me whacking a pot back on the windowsill, which I'm really grateful for. I'm so grateful for the deep windowsills.
Yeah, they're coming into their own, aren't they?
It changes everything for me. So
you've got lots of plants on your windowsills. You're watering them.
Yes, with the very important IKEA cactus watering can.
It really does work well in your apartment.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
I'm
really proud of it. It looks like the most gorgeous little thing. And it kind of adds extra green to your windowsill and could almost look like another plant on the windowsill.
That's
a stretch.
Pushing it a bit.
It's pushing it a bit.
You are forgetting the most important thing that happened to you last week. The biggest and best event, because I paid you a visit.
You did
a little
pay
surprise
me a
visit because it was somebody's 18th birthday.
It was my 18th birthday, which I must say, to be honest, I really forgot about because of moving and revising, because the term started so early. And
you've never had your birthday during term time.
It was
a holiday baby, and it was so unfortunate that your first birthday to have on your 18th. Lonesome was your 18th.
It was really, really sad, and it was just sad that I kind of woke up in the morning and wasn't like, it's my birthday.
Yeah, piling
it was
into
kind of
like bed.
Yeah, it was just kind of, okay, right, let's get to uni as quickly as possible. Oh, also on my birthday, I got the wrong bus. I got on the wrong bus, which took me to a random part of town.
But you did pretty well with that. You figured it all out, so you're getting to know the town a lot better. But there were some quite panicked messages sent to me. Not that there was anything I could do to help, but
yeah. But of course, the pièce de la résistance, as they say in France, is the birthday cake that I got the most humongous surprise of having. And usually you hate cake, because we've got to put this in context, obviously.
I hate cake. They make
cake.
me itch. And I've always decorated cakes for you, relevant to whatever you're into at the time. We had 1 year Gangnam Style, so you had a grey man in a grey suit on a grey background. The greyest cake I've seen. Another year
so much.
Was a Lego cake, and that was very colourful. In fact, there were so many E numbers in that because I really overdid the food dye. Anyway, this year was, of course, your veg garden, because you weren't going to be near your veg garden.
Yes.
But we did it slightly differently this year, because you love baking cakes. I hate baking cakes.
Yes, I love cake. I love baking it. I like eating the mix. I like eating the cake. I like everything to do with cake, pretty much.
So you baked the cake, and then you left that for me. I then decorated it.
Yeah.
But when I came to decorating it, the cake just evaporated. Just completely disintegrated.
I don't know what I did wrong. I think it was really dry.
I don't know what it was. It didn't feel that dry. But anyway,
I think it's because of all the biscuits that I put in it. Because I thought I can't be bothered to make 3 different layers, I
Yes.
thought I'm just going to make one big cake. And so I put chocolate, coffee, Oreos and chocolate chip cookies into one cake, which for me sounds like heaven. To others sounds like diabetes, but
Yeah.
I think it's about putting into perspective. So
It tasted like diabetes as well, but
It
it
did,
was
in the
very
end.
nice. But the thing was, it disintegrated when I then tried to cut through it and put some butter icing in the middle and ice the top of it. There was immense panic because I had very little time to get this sorted.
No.
And I was fielding work calls at the same time as my hands just covered in butter icing and crumbly cake and everything. Eventually, I had to make the executive decision to ram it all into a casserole dish. So that got rammed in, and then I decorated a relatively flat surface with your veggie garden.
yes, which was really cute. And you had these little toadstools, which were really cute.
Oh my goodness me.
It was beautiful. I loved it.
Well, I've been propping up the veg garden whilst you've been away.
Nice.
And
How's
I've
it looking?
been weeding a lot. The paths really need a weed. They were in a terrible state. They're still in a bad state, but better. And a lot of nettles that were falling into the lettuce bed, which I don't mind too much. It's also a good deterrent from people coming in. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. Your tomatoes are looking great. We've got a few butternut growing. The plants are growing enormous. The butternut themselves, there are a few fruit.
Yeah.
Courgettes, I just do not know what's going on. There are no courgettes. The patty pans are doing brilliantly though, so
They are.
I'm eating the patty pans as courgettes. The beans are great. Peas
Are fine.
You've got lots of peppers on one of your pepper plants.
Oh, great! But I can't remember the variety of them because when I can't remember.
Helpful.
No,
I was going to ask you because I don't know what I'm meant to do with it. Do all
I don't know
peppers
either.
get treated the same? I don't think you treat all peppers the same.
No, I don't think you do. You definitely don't. Anyways, I can't figure it out because the last time I looked at them, they were little teeny tiny green things, and I thought they were going to become padrons. But now, from the photos you sent me, I can't tell. They're bigger and green, but are they meant to go red?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know either.
I haven't been in your greenhouse. The door swung open
Oh.
at some point, so I just shut that again. But I haven't been in.
You haven't been in the sacred chapel of Sweet Pea.
But otherwise, everything's looking all right. Hobbs is doing well. And I think in terms of empty nest syndrome, we definitely are an improvement on last week, aren't we? Not so emotional.
Yeah. I mean, getting to see you for my birthday was always nice. So it just kind of split up.
I think
kind of
that
time.
really helped. And it also closed the gap a bit between us logistically.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we are here to talk about Gardener's World, but we have, as always, a few bits of news beforehand.
Sure.
Shall I get started, Sweet Pea?
You go for it first.
First up, I'm chirpier than normal because we've got Taskmaster starting again. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Next
the 9th.
Thursday. I need to make sure I'm seeing that then.
I'll record it though, so when you're next home, you can just kind of binge watch them all.
Oh, great. Yes.
And I'll keep you updated.
Who is the cast? Who are the players?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sweet Pea. There is Anya Magliano, who I've never heard of. She had a small part in Deep Cover, that film that we absolutely loved.
Love that film. Watch that film. It's hilarious. You'll just laugh and laugh and laugh.
Nick Mohammed, and who's the...
Orlando Bloom, that's
it. There's Maisie Adam,
yes,
who you do know. There's Phil Ellis, who I don't know, so I don't think you would know. Reece Shearsmith, who is in League of Gentlemen. You'll recognise his face, but I don't think you've avidly watched anything he's in. And then there's Sanjeev Bhaskar, who you do know.
I do. Yes, that rings a bell.
Well, he's absolutely brilliant. So that's the new lineup.
But
some more pertinent gardening news.
Yeah,
Jamie Butterworth.
That's not really gardening news. It's Taskmaster bruv.
Jamie Butterworth.
Yes.
He got married last week.
Oh, bravissimo.
Devon is his wife. And they were originally going to have a May wedding, but then Monty Don obviously was doing that RHS garden. The
How
dog
selfish
garden,
of
the Battersea
Monty.
one. Yeah, wanted Jamie to be involved, so they had to quickly move their date. And Jamie spent 6 months growing his wedding flowers. And he said
no way.
that whilst traditionally, you might have a floral arch or lots of cut flowers.
Yes.
They decided to go with this kind of tiered approach. So they had a whole load of live shrubs and trees that they had been growing.
Ooh.
One of the stars of the show in the sort of shrub part of it with these huge hydrangea paniculatas. Stunning, completely stunning.
Lovely.
Then he layered that with 1,800 herbaceous perennials. So you had the backdrop for the trees and the shrubs to give the height and the depth, and then the perennials were then in front of that, and then a further layer was a load of cut flowers, like a whole load of delphiniums and dahlias and things like that. And then all their cut flowers were donated to the local care homes after.
I mean, that is absolutely lovely.
His photos are actually in Hello magazine.
Oh my gosh.
I'll put a link to it so you can see it online. Ooh. And they spuriously link it with Taylor Swift's engagement photos with all the flowers that she had. So Hello magazine have linked Jamie Butterworth and Taylor Swift together in this article.
Because they're exactly the same person.
So that's a double whammy for you. You love Jamie Butterworth, you love Taylor Swift. So you can
I can't wait to see those photos. I'm going to have a look.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Brilliant.
And if you're wanting a bit of an Adam Frost fix, then you're in luck because he's on tour.
Oh.
So for a month from the 27th of September till the 26th of October, he's got various dates all the way down south from Folkestone up to Edinburgh.
No way.
And if you want to get tickets, you can go to the website fane.co.uk, which was that same website that you could get Monty's tour from.
Okay, cool.
Now, some nature news. Sweden recycles so well that it's run out of trash. And so now it imports waste to keep its recycling plants running.
No way.
It manages its waste so efficiently that less than 1% ends up in landfills. Isn't that incredible? So to keep its waste to energy plants running, they now import over 2 million tonnes of rubbish every year from its neighbours like Norway, from us in the UK and Italy. And then that waste is converted into heat, electricity and other usable resources that power hundreds of thousands of homes.
Wow. I mean, that is very, very cool that they haven't got enough trash.
So they're now a bit of a model for other countries. Cool. If we could all do that, and imagine where we'd be. Well, then we'd have a reverse problem where we just don't have enough waste.
Yeah,
and then everyone can make as much waste as they like. God,
no. Bad idea. Bad idea.
Abort
mission. I like that one a lot.
This piece of news might interest you as well, Sweet Pea. A 12-year-old girl called Rebecca Young from Glasgow.
Oh, yeah.
Has been named one of Time magazine's 10 Girls of the Year for her solar heated blanket invention. So she came up with it when she entered a competition, UK Primary Engineer competition.
Wow.
Where more than 70,000 pupils entered ideas aimed around addressing a social issue. So Rebecca's social issue that she was looking at was homelessness and how to keep people warm on the streets when they don't have a roof over their heads. Yeah. So she was part of this engineering club at school and she came up with the idea, and then engineer firm Thales turned it into a natural reality. And get this, Sweet Pea, because the competition was run in partnership with Lego, she now has her own Lego figure.
Oh my gosh, now I know what I need to do to get my own Lego figure. You have no idea how much I've wanted my own Lego figure. That's amazing. But also the whole idea is that she's 12 years old.
Incredible, isn't it? What lovely news.
I would never have come up with that kind of idea.
And then finally, one other piece of news. An Indiana man sunflower has just blasted past the world record and it's still growing.
Really?
This is Alex Babbage from Fort Wayne, and he's been growing sunflowers trying to get the tallest in the world to get into the Guinness World Record. And this year he's got there. And it originally measured at 30 feet, 7 inches, and now it's shot up to over 34 feet tall, which is smashing the Guinness World Record of 30 feet, 1 inch.
Oh my gosh. I think that's amazing. I remember looking up the Guinness World Record of sunflower heights because I remember when we first grew sunflowers, I thought I was going to get onto the Guinness World Record.
Did you?
Tallest sunflower, because I thought our sunflowers were just like monumentally tall.
Oh, Sweet Pea.
And they were like half the height of these guys who had scaffolding planks and everything around them.
Yeah, well, 34 feet, that's around 10 metres tall. Or over 10 metres tall. And this one, the local town is so invested in it that they have loaned him a cherry picker so he can keep measuring it. And yes, he's got scaffolding going all the way up and ladders and all sorts.
You do
this
not
thing
want
is
that
so
blowing over.
monumental. Absolutely mad, isn't it?
That is crazy stuff. I love that.
Sweet Pea, your plant fun fact for this week.
Plant fun fact. Right. I'm going to be talking about another very cool 18-year-old. Called David Douglas. David Douglas, who was born in 1799, and he worked at Scone Palace in the gardens, and by 18 he was recommended to the RHS, as we know it, to become a plant hunter. So we know all the thing about the plant hunters. It's quite an amazing job to have.
Treacherous.
Anyway, so he was always kind of quite rebellious. He had eagles and he always wore tartan. And I mean, that's not rebellious in itself. I'm not saying that. But he was always really rebellious with what he did. He couldn't sit still. He had to go do stuff. He had to be on an adventure.
Yeah.
And so when you're now looking at, for example, a red flowering currant or a sugar pine or a white pine or of course, the Douglas fir named after him.
Oh, it's all starting to make sense now, isn't it?
It's all starting to make sense. Well, now, whenever you think about those plants or see that plant, think about David Douglas at 18 years old, going and plant hunting like crazy, getting attacked by grizzly bears, losing huge amounts of specimen seeds in river whirlpools.
So he's quite clumsy.
He's not clumsy. He got sucked into a river whirlpool.
Oh, he got sucked into the whirlpool.
Yes, and lost all his belongings and all his specimens.
Wow, quite an adventurer then.
Yeah, he's quite an adventurer. And so he was just always doing stuff. And he unfortunately died at age 35.
That's very young.
He was on another adventure trying to collect specimens. And he was in Hawaii. And he fell into a pit trying to capture wild cattle. And he got trampled on by a bullock. So,
well, why was he trying to capture wild cattle?
I have
That's
no
nothing
idea.
to do with plants.
I'm not sure what that had to do, but that's how he died. And
so he was a major risk taker then, wasn't he?
Yeah, major risk taker. So it doesn't sound like the most fun death, I would say.
No, but at least he lived his short life to the absolute full.
Exactly.
There's something to be said for that.
There's something to be said for that.
Well, a quick animal fun fact.
Yes.
Jonathan is 192 years old. He's the world's oldest living land animal. He is a Seychelles giant tortoise. And he holds the title of the world's oldest living land animal.
Oh my gosh, sweet. Who named him Jonathan?
I don't know, but there's a perfectly acceptable and respectable name for a tortoise.
It's all white.
He was born in 1832. He's lived through almost 2 centuries of global history. From the invention of the light bulb and the telephone to the dawn of space travel and the internet. That makes you think, doesn't it?
I mean, how much fun would it be? I've always thought if you were to be a tree, an oak, don't just snort at me.
Oh, no. You had the choice between being an oak or a tortoise.
But oaks live forever.
Or a Greenland shark. They live for hundreds of years, don't they?
Yeah, they're very, very cool. But I wanted to be a tree.
Okay, cool.
Because I thought I would just be there growing and I'd just watch people walk by.
Yeah.
And can you imagine
with
over
your
the
oak
centuries?
eyes?
Yes, exactly. And I'd just watch people go walking past and it would be so interested to see the different kind of centuries and clothes and just, the way people are. How much fun would that be?
And then how would you defend yourself if one of those people came up to you with a massive axe in the earlier years and a chainsaw in the latter years?
I'd go, oi.
Freak the heck out of them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put links to all those stories anyway on our website. But we should get on, Sweet Pea, because you've got revision to do.
I have,
but
yes.
More importantly,
Biophysics.
frankly, we want to have a look at this episode of Gardener's World.
We sure do.
Far more important than biophysics.
Far more important than biophysics.
So this is Gardener's World 2025, episode 23 recap.
Off we go.
I feel like this is the second week if not the first week, that Monty doesn't say hello and welcome to Gardener's World.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good point. He's getting out of the habit.
He was just straight in there.
These are
my Tiphonias. Here's my Helenium. My Clematis.
My God.
So we did have a look at those.
He didn't do his sultry hello and welcome to Gardener's World.
And that just kicks your Friday night off well, I think.
It does kick your Friday night off.
Right.
I love how some people are partying and I've got like kids upstairs. I mean, God knows what was going on last night. They were screaming and shouting and partying. And I'm here going, so Gardener's World, we had the Tiphonias and we were going to take them on.
I think you'll be joining those parties at some point. And then you're just going to be exhausted.
I really don't feel like it. But anyways, prefer gardening.
And he was talking about his salvias and how he's going to protect them. He's taking them all in. Yes. And then he said, very importantly. And he says, whatever salvia it is, it needs winter protection. But I beg to differ. That's such a sweeping statement because we have a lot of salvias that do not need winter protection.
Well, / none of them need winter protection that we have. And we've got some of the non-hardy ones as well, the really tropical varieties.
The more tropical ones.
Yeah.
They've been all right and they get they're really exposed where they are. But that's just fluke. But there are plenty of hardy salvias. So I don't know why he said that because there is such a massive range of salvias. You can have some that, don't like to go below freezing. But there are plenty that are absolutely fine. So I'm surprised that he made that comment.
I think maybe he was just talking about the non-hardy varieties.
Okay.
And maybe he was just saying, and he was leaving the hardy varieties, which have hardy in their name, to one side. Therefore, don't need to bring them in.
But he did say whatever salvia it is, it needs winter protection.
Okay, so...
I don't think you and I need to argue about this. I think we're on the same page.
I think we are on the same page. But I did rather like the salvia curviflora that he was talking about. It was a pretty colour. Loved that.
And he had his salvia amistad growing in a pot and that was thriving, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was doing really, really well. Loved all the drainage, all the heat. It was just bathing in the sunlight.
And then he explains when you are taking cuttings, did you catch what he said when you take it off the main plant?
You want to nick... ideally a little bit of the main stem when you sort of kind of
peel
pinch.
It off, don't you? So you get like a heel.
Exactly, you get a heel. It's a bit like when you take basil cuttings, when you have to cut your knife slightly down into, for example, the rhizome or whatever. You want to nick a bit of that off. Yeah. Otherwise you're getting nothing, my friend.
And any kind of woody cuttings that you do as well. You always sort of take a bit of the...
You want to nick a little bit.
Nick a bit.
You want to nick it.
Then he pops it in a plastic bag as usual.
Yeah.
And then to the potting shed. I
never do that.
What, go to the potting shed or the plastic bag?
The plastic bag. I've never, ever used a plastic bag.
And have they all been all right?
They've all been absolutely fine. And
okay.
Like 99% of the time I've had plants from my salvias, even though I can be like out in the garden and just chuck them to one side whilst I'm taking more cuttings or pruning another thing.
Really?
So,
and they're all fine.
And they're fine. So
wow.
Who knows? That's just me.
That's just you. Maybe you've got really clammy hands, so when you carry them, you just keep all the moisture in. Anyway, he's using perlite. Drainage is key, and he takes off all the side leaves, doesn't he, and leaves a little sort of top sprig.
Yeah, all the usual kind of stuff you do with cuttings.
Yeah, pops a lid on it, mists the plant every day.
Absolutely.
Then we join Adam Frost, and he is in, the Kent-Sussex border.
Yes.
At Emma Burrill's place. Emma Burrill, who's a ceramicist by trade, and she bought with her husband an old horse paddock, which they've transformed into this beautiful garden.
Yeah, really kind of far landscapes using the rolling hills slightly around, and all about this prairie planting.
Planting again.
Using the shapes and forms of flowers. So she really liked echilias, for example, which give that plate. But then she had euryngums and
daisy type ones.
Yeah, heleniums as well to give that kind of more ball form.
Yeah.
So I can imagine as a ceramicist, it would be, it's very pleasing on her eye, especially.
Yeah.
So she had that kind of long border in one area. I couldn't tell if that's the front or the back of the house.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to really decipher what was it, from this one? I think because they didn't do any drone shots.
No, I don't remember any drone shots. Nothing is pinging to mind. Because also with this kind of farm-like area, it's always quite hard to tell what is front and back.
Yeah, exactly.
I could barely tell with our house.
Well, ours is all over the shop.
It's all over the shop.
Yeah.
Like, what is the front door? Who knows?
But Emma explains that the way she built up the garden was she put in the borders one year, some hedges in another year, and then the orchard in another year. So just building it up year on year, which is just heavenly, isn't it? It's like having a new garden each year.
That would have been quite fun to just do little piece by little piece, but I think that's how you have to do it.
It is, really. I mean, it's similar to what we've done.
Yeah, I think so. And it's
in a way
pretty much what everyone has to do, because it's impossible to take so much time out unless you're like a professional gardener to do everything at once.
Exactly. So
that.
And then she had that area of grasses which she used as a hedge. We've seen that being done before on Gardener's World. Do you get which grass she had?
Yeah, it's the feather reed grass,
the Calamagrostis, Calforster, and that was dividing the studio off slightly from the rest of the garden. But
not like a kind of proper opaque barrier.
No.
I thought it was quite cool, actually. Even though it's not hugely something I would do. Yeah. I think it was rather interesting. And I quite liked how, like, all the grasses weren't all kind of clumped together. They were separated perfectly apart. And so there were little kind of transparent areas between the grasses. So it looked almost like there were kind of columns. Of grass.
Yeah.
So I did think that was rather cool, working with the structure of it.
Yeah. Well, it beats the pants off, say, a laurel hedge, doesn't it?
Oh my God, it beats
something like that.
Yes, of course. Of course, yeah.
The all-important question, does she water it? Does she need to water it? And she said no, only when planting. And she uses very small plants as well.
Yeah,
so they can get their roots down.
But for me, the big piece, the centerpiece for me, wherever this was in the garden, front, back, side,
who knows,
was the beautiful, I would say it was like an infinity terrace.
Oh, yes.
Carried on going on to the distance.
Yes.
And there was no kind of proper edge to it for me.
You're right, it was like an infinity terrace, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Infinity terrace. With the decking and the two chairs and the little table. Yeah. Really, really cute.
Yeah.
And then this beautiful kind of prairie area where she just used plants that were going to survive in not particularly the best conditions. And
well, it was interesting conditions because she said there was rocks, gravel and sand, which I'll talk about a bit more later on, but it is, it's an unusual area, kind of ground, isn't it?
Yeah,
to have that combination.
Yeah.
Especially, in these parts of the world. But she explained how she used North American prairie plant seeds for the bad ground.
Yes.
And that didn't work. We didn't find out why it didn't work. I would have thought it would work.
I would have thought as well. But it's quite interesting. Like there are so many times when we've said, oh, these would be like perfect plants, perfect meadow plants or whatever for an area, and they just do not like it. It can so depend on your certain climate in your little pocket area of the world.
Yeah. So then she tried some other plants. Did you get the ones she mentioned?
So in the meadow there was Veronicastrum, there was Euphorbia, Pseudovergata, and also a perennial sunflower, the Helianthus, in the background, which she said was on the slightly nicer soil.
Yeah.
which is slightly needed, but it was looking great.
And she did mention about the Euphorbia being quite an invasive plant, but so don't put it in your borders, but great for what she was doing with that prairie meadow bit.
It's the kind of thing we'd need on one side, the kind of side which just kind of gets overtaken by brambles.
Brambles and ground elder.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the perfect thing to have there.
Yeah, that would be good. Well, this garden is based near Rye in East Sussex, which of course is where we were, Sweet Pea, the other week. Great Dixter.
Oh my gosh, yes, of course.
She's got 7 acres there, and they spent the first 2 years clearing the site and rebuilding the house. And then she started off by planting 550 tree whips. This was all part of a woodland trust scheme.
Well, that sounds amazing.
Isn't that cool? 550 trees.
550.
Imagine having land that can take that many trees.
I mean, that must be so fun to do. They're going to be big now as well.
And then they also planted a cobnut plat. Apparently it's called a plat if you have a whole sort of orchard, I guess, of cobnuts.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
Then she planted the hedges, and she did all those around kind of sight lines from the house and the studio and various points.
Yeah.
And she put in the borders and the orchard then after that. And those borders that we saw, can you have a guess at how wide they were? It was hard to tell, I thought.
It was really hard to tell.
3 meters.
3 meters?
Wide. Yeah.
That's a very decent thick border.
That's a decent size, isn't it? And then the reason for the prairie garden having that weird ground, it's
sand,
because,
the gravel and the stuff.
Yeah, exactly that. It's because it was a sand school for the horses, because of course it was a horse paddock. So they that had all been specifically prepped like that. So there was a membrane underneath it all as well. So Emma had to go about removing all the membrane first, and then she had this basically a ready-made low fertile sandbed.
Crikey.
And we know from our chit chat with Owen Heyman how key it is for wildflowers to have that low fertility soil, don't we?
Absolutely.
So really that was a perfect patch of ground. Once you found the right flowers, your wildflowers would be great in their meadow style planting.
Yeah. It's all about right flower, right place.
Yep. And now Emma is no longer ceramicisting.
Oh, no.
I don't think that's a verb.
No.
She's now a garden consultant and planting designer. So if you do like her style of planting, then you can get in contact with her. I'll put her website on our website.
Check her out. Absolutely.
Then we're back to the Don, who's potting on his mustard. It's incredible, isn't it, when you see those little delicate seedlings like that they actually can become something useful.
And that you can eat and you can harvest a whole load.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing. He had the Ruby Street mustard. He was kind of showing, putting them into little plugs. And then afterwards, when he had some other kind of rocket plugs, which were going to be then the size of the Ruby Street mustard a few weeks later.
They were in the cold frame, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. He was then putting the rocket then into the ground, 6 inches apart.
And they need to be regularly watered. But he does mention that pesto, which with the rocket pesto using walnuts instead of pine nuts. He does say using cheddar instead of parmesan.
Which sounds great.
But we make all sorts of pestos using whatever cheese is available.
We do.
Cheese we've used and whatever nuts are available. But we did with our glut of rocket, we made a few beautiful pestos using walnuts as well. And we can vouch for it being absolutely sensational.
It is
such
the
a
best
nice pesto.
It is really good. And when you smear it like a kind of crust over salmon, for example, a salmon
that was
steak
good, wasn't
or something
it?
like that. Oh,
yes.
That is to die for. Not something you can have as a student. Far too expensive, but what I used to have.
back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the good old days of when I could eat good food.
The days of yore.
But then we head to Crouch End, North London, and this is the garden of Steve, Buckley and Liz Roberts. Steve is a sculptor by trade.
Yes.
And they are going for Mediterranean, exotic and spiky with the words that he used.
Very different vibes. It's quite amazing how they can get so many different,
so diverse
types of gardens, which I think is perfect because it shows you that you can do absolutely everything and anything.
All in the UK.
In gardening,
fantastic,
in the UK.
Isn't it?
It's very, very cool. So yes.
And they explain how Mediterranean planting is more viable now in the UK. 90% of their garden stays outside and thrives over the winter months.
They have some amazing plants. I think it's quite interesting because also some plants need that slight dormancy time to kind of refresh. Otherwise, the plant's kind of metabolism isn't going to work very well. But they had some really gorgeous plants. So there was some Poyas. Obviously, we love those. Yucca rostrata. A Dayun Ejuli. Now, I hadn't seen this plant before, or kind of spiky and upright.
You have seen this plant before.
Have I?
It's sitting on one of our terraces.
It's that one.
Yeah.
No. Okay, this makes my point of what I was thinking is how it's the kind of plant you'd walk past in the houseplant section and not really think about it.
Well, it did used to be in your bedroom, then our cat started stripping it, and so I put it out on the terrace and just hoped that it would survive in quite a sheltered area, sort of in a right angle of two walls.
Yes.
And it thrives now.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe
away from
we
the
actually
violent
have
cat.
it.
Yes. I can't believe you weren't aware of it, because you would see that every single morning.
I can't believe it. I thought it was completely new. That's what it is. Okay. So it's a Dune edule. Apparently it's native to Mexico. It's also called Palma de la Virgen.
Nice.
Which is the virgin palm. Don't ask me why it's called that. No idea. Try to find out.
Well, I guess no one can get near it, so spiky.
So spiky. And also the genus name Dune refers to two egg.
So I suppose it's spelled D-I-O-O-N, isn't it? So di is two.
Dune.
Un is
egged. Two egged. Then they had also a whole load of cycads, Revoluta, Encephalatus, Leymanii, all very cool plants. Then they had some palms as well. There was a Trachycarpus princeps.
I didn't know it was blue underside.
No, I didn't either. That makes me think a bit more about them. Because I'm going to be honest with you, these aren't my favourite plants in the whole wide world.
Aren't they?
I need a bit of more shebang with plants.
I like them. I really like them, but
cool.
I like them even more now that I know they're blue underneath.
There's a blue underneath. Well, this one I like especially because it has the blue underneath. Like, that's just really cool. There are quite a few plants actually which have a different coloured underside. I know some plants which have kind of a red top and a grey silver underside. It's really rather cool.
Do we know why that is? Because, for example,
you ask far too many questions.
Sharks have a dark upper side and a light underside, so that when you look down at them, they blend in with the darker ocean beneath them. And when you are underneath and look up, they're light against the light of the sky, the sun.
Oh.
And many other fish. So I'm just wondering what plants are up to.
That is another bit of housekeeping.
I think great.
We should look up. Leave that one
let's
to
pop
you.
that in for next week. Okay, yes, leave that to me. You've got enough on your plate.
Yes, revision. Then there was another plant, Mahonia soft caress. Really nice
beautiful.
Scent, apparently.
I liked that. Good in shade.
Very good in shade. There was an Agave Americana. Tequila!
Wasn't that stunning? Theirs
really
was
cool.
Enormous. And then did you see the enormous cactus?
Enormous.
Or many enormous cacti?
They did have many more. Yeah, I like that. But I especially liked the bay tree topiary roof.
Yeah.
For
yes.
his little carving station.
Yeah, that was
which I thought was really, really cool to have, because it can help actually. And then finally, I just want to say the last few plants, because Liz talked about how she actually likes to have some edible plants as well in there, but some interesting edibles, not just like your normal edible plants. So she had some shizu, which is that spiky leaf that you get on sushi plates.
Yes.
That everyone just looks at and goes, why have they put that on this plate?
It looks like a nettle, but is edible.
It is edible and quite nice actually. Then there was a pineapple sage as well. She had a Sichuan pepper tree. Makes your tongue tingle. Very cool. And those are the edibles that I got.
All those plants reminded me very much. When I was a teenager, your granddad was shooting a feature film, which was set in a prehistoric rainforest. And he used a lot of the plants that Steve and Liz have got in their garden.
Of course, yes.
And when they'd finished the shoot, Dad brought all those plants back home, and I got to have a fair few of them for uni. So my room in my first year was like a prehistoric rainforest. And I was in an attic room above a newsagent's in London. And we used to have to feed a meter with 50p coins for the heating. Yes. And obviously as students, we didn't have much money back in those days.
Nope.
And so you really limited how many 50p coins you were going to use. So it would get so cold at night in the winter that the glass of water by my bed would freeze. And all these plants survived it. So I can vouch that all those plants are hardy, because I did my very own experiment back in my teenage years in my first uni digs.
Oh, cool. Blimey, alrighty.
Well, Liz Roberts and Steve Buckley, they live at 11 Park Avenue North in London, and their garden's about 250 foot long, so that's about 76 metres, which I don't think you could quite get a feel for that from the programme.
No, you didn't actually.
They took it on just over 15 years ago. Originally, it was really overgrown with roses and brambles. Then Steve sketched out this kind of snaking path and then replaced the lawns with limestone paved terracing. and then edged all the beds with big rocks, which we did see, and then ensured that he filled the beds with kind of a grit mix to keep it all really free draining.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because they had a very clayey soil there underneath otherwise.
Yeah.
And then piled in his plants.
Great.
And you can go and visit that garden through the NGS. It's closed now for this year.
I can imagine, yeah.
But they're open every year and they're very involved, so they can answer all your questions about tropical planting.
Oh, lovely.
So I'll put a link to that on the NGS site. I'll put that on our website.
Sounds like a tropical planter's paradise.
Sure does. We're back with Monty, who's sorting his Aphrodite amarines.
Yes, he is. And so he's popping them in their gritty mix and then a surface of grit just to polish things off.
And keeping the bulb sticking out a bit rather than burying it.
The little tip.
And then we're off to see the wonderful Joe Swift in Bristol. He's at a place called Heart of BS13. It's a big flower farm there.
Huge flower farm, but community flower farm, which is very different from anything we've seen before.
Absolutely wonderful. There's a lovely romantic slow-mo of Joe walking behind a lovely flowery border.
Yes.
And then we meet Sol Harmsworth, who's the manager. Joe gives her a bit of grief about her cosmos picking skills, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like, this one is perfectly good. She's like, no. We've got to go.
I don't think she needs Joe's advice. It looks like they're doing a pretty good job without it all.
Yeah.
Did you hear the name of that very pretty cosmos that she was picking?
The apricot cosmos.
That's your sort of thing.
It is my cosmos. That is my cosmos. I think it would also probably be Monty's cosmos because he likes the apricot colours as well.
Yeah. And Sol explains a bit about this community garden. She says it's a social enterprise, part of a charity tackling health inequality that occurs in that postcode.
Yes.
And then it goes on to explain that postcode is in the top 10% of multiple deprivation, which means a lot more people have more disadvantages when it comes to education, employment and nutrition. So they're tackling all these elements with that community garden.
I think it's really lovely, and it's very different from, as I said, any other community garden, because usually community gardens, they're kind of mainly veg, I'd say some ornamentals, but I would say I've mainly seen kind of veg growing,
mainly, isn't it?
Edible growing, and this one creating a flower farm, which is highly productive. You saw those rows
really
and rows
productive.
Of beds.
They really have it all together, don't they? Yes, and we did get some nice drone shots.
Yeah,
it looked enormous and it looked so well ordered.
It did, didn't it? I thought it looked lovely, and they were just off grid, so they had solar pumps and gutters and everything. Yeah, it just had it all sorted, and it looked like paradise.
And they had a business because they were selling. She was explaining how wholesale industry wants to buy their flowers, so they have the demand right there.
Exactly.
We then meet Gill Carpenter, who's a volunteer who grew up in the area. Yes. So that's been very interesting for her to see how things have evolved. She said it's an important green space, very good for the young, but also good for getting old people out from being kind of stuck inside, which is so truly important. Now, we spend a lot of time on the continent, especially in France, and
yes, of course,
but also in Spain, you notice it, and in Italy. But France especially, they have a really great ethos. When you get old, you don't just disappear, you don't become invisible. It's the old people who gather around benches, and they can
heckle you.
They will heckle the young. I remember when I was a teenager and walking through this pretty little fishing port with a girlfriend of mine, and walking past this bench full of old people, men and women, and just being royally heckled to the extent that I was always scared to go past these benches. But they're playing petanque, aren't they? They've got all their petanque courts set up, and they all convene, and being sociable is very, very important. And
it is.
I don't know how much in the way of facilities we have in the UK in comparison, but something like this is so extraordinarily wonderful. And I know, for one, when I'm old,
you could be old.
First of all, I'm going to be heckling all you young lot.
I mean, only the other day I was walking past somewhere and I could hear really rowdy talking and all sorts, and I thought, oh crikey, I better not walk past here. And it was kind of in this little small park area.
Yeah.
And I wanted to walk through the park to get to the other side and thought, I better not. And I peeped my head round the corner and it was all these old guys all getting really rowdy because they were playing very competitive petanque. And they were all shouting at each other, but in like really lovely way. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm fine.
I'm all right.
I'm all
it's so good, isn't it? But when I'm old, I will be heckling it, but I'll also be going to community gardens like this. I think this is truly wonderful. And to be involved with the production of flowers to be sold.
Yeah.
There was also Vicky from Hong Kong, and she was finding it a great place to make friends. And then there was Jack there who said, look, I can't take any credit for where we're at with this because he'd only been there 2 weeks, but he had recently had some kind of well-being issues. Yeah. And so this was excellent for his mental health. And also he realised that he wants to make horticulture his career. So this is a really brilliant place for him to go.
Exactly. Just start training and then get the
mentoring. Exactly. Then you mentioned earlier about the sort of self-sufficiency and off-gridness, and they have a polytunnel, and the surface area of the roof is approximately 300 metres squared.
And they capture very big.
All that water into great big water tanks, and then they have a solar pump which irrigates the contents of the tunnel. And then, of course, the composting.
Oh my gosh. When I saw that huge heap of compost, I just thought, Mummy is having a heart attack right now.
Mummy was, yeah. Well, they have to go out and get extra waste in, compost waste, food waste. So they go off on their electric trike, which reminded me very much of composting Michael.
Yes, it did. His little electric van. Very cool.
Yep. And Jen Liggitt is the compost queen there, and she talks us through all about turning the food waste into just something beautiful.
Yeah, and 50-50 wood chip.
That's right, yep. And then they put it into mixers, which they can turn, and after 10 days, it's a good starter compost. And then, and that was at 60 degrees, wasn't it?
I know, that was so hot.
Amazing. And then they go into larger, well-ventilated maturation vats, and then that goes on to the compost bays after.
Yeah, exactly. They're very precise with everything. They've got like a little clipboard.
Just incredible. That makes you organised and precise if you have a clipboard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then we finally meet the farm florist Clem Richards. Now, she was doing a beautiful display with what looked like a willow ball.
Yes.
Did you think was it willow or hazel?
I couldn't tell because we did some little kind of cocoons for birds to nest in. And we'd put like little fluff in there and stuff like that.
That was using old grapevines.
That was grapevine from the area which gets like attacked by heat, which is really lovely.
Yes.
And so we got all the clippings which are really bendy, and that was really fun to do. And it looked similar to that, but I don't know if it was grapevine.
No, I don't know. But
probably not.
What I was interested in, she was then weaving the flowers in, and it looked stunning. Absolutely, I really loved it. But I don't know how she keeps the flowers watered.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell if they were going to just droop or if that's something you can have just for the day or...
Yeah.
Or I wonder
Seems rather wasteful though, just for a day.
Misting maybe?
I tried to see if she'd put anything on the stems, the base of the stems of any of those cosmos, but I couldn't see anything. She was definitely, when she was on camera, threaded one in with nothing at the base. So I don't know. I'd love to find out. Because I was about to say,
would she put, I don't know, like some wetted kitchen roll like on the inside so you can't see it, but that's keeping it all kind of moist environment, maybe.
I don't know. I couldn't understand. It looked so stunning that if I could
so
find out
beautiful.
how one could do that, I thought, yes, I could get our grapevines and make some spheres and then put flowers on. But
I would love that.
You would love that, but I don't want it lasting just a day. I'm not picking all your flowers just for it to last that long.
We could do that for my wedding. I'd like that for my wedding.
Okay. Let's just not run before we can walk, shall we?
If I have a wedding, that is what I would definitely like, because I think that's the most beautiful thing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having that hanging over, the long table, the reception table, having those kind of hanging over with lights in them, so lit up?
heating up the flowers.
Heating up the flowers.
Even less long than a day.
Oh, it would be so beautiful.
No, it wouldn't, because these things are going to die instantly.
We can figure something out.
Well, one thing they don't mention is what they do for food poverty. So you can sign up for free meals there. They have a community freezer stocked with take-home meals for any of the BS13 residents.
Gotcha.
And you can also attend workshops and courses for floristry or sustainably grown flowers or composting or any of the things that we saw. They've got a really well worked out website with lots of information on there. So again, I'll add a link.
Great.
Monty's growing blueberries in some ericaceous soil.
Yes, which is where I went so wrong putting mine in the ground.
Did you?
Yes.
Where did you put the blueberries?
In the little strip, the strip of...
in our berry strip.
Berry strip.
Ah, I know. Oh, yes, I do remember now. Okay, great. Well, that was... Didn't we put some ericaceous compost in their little box?
I did. I put some ericaceous soil on top, and I thought it would kind of seep in.
Right.
That didn't work.
You didn't churn it in.
I think it's just not correct soil whatsoever, so you have to put it in just a pot.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Then we meet Flo, and she's in Kent. She had been living in London in a small flat for 6 years before moving here. This place is, so she's in Deal in Kent, which is about 30 minutes up the coast from Folkestone.
Oh, okay, so very nearby.
Not far from there. She grew up in Amsterdam and wanted to recreate an island that she used to play on when she was little. And it was called, what she said when it was translated into English, is Rough Reed.
Yeah.
I think it's Het Ruige Riet Nature Reserve. You're impressed. Don't tell me otherwise. She described how they would go over to this island on a raft and they would clamber through the weeds and the brambles, and she wanted her children to have that feeling of wilderness and wildness and plants being taller than them, so they get that real sort of jungly sensation.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite interesting actually talking about it now. I've only just thought about it. Is when I was younger, I'd go down with Grandad to the pond.
Yeah.
And I would have to walk through these paths of just all sorts growing, wild flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, there were obviously some nettles here and there, but we'd always reeds and grasses. And I loved going down there. And he created for me over time, at the beginning, there wasn't much, but he created from this small willow, a little willow hut.
Yeah,
because he managed to get all of the branches to fold down around, and then he made this entrance. And so I would always go in there, and it was
that was your Wendy house.
Much fun. That was my Wendy house.
Yeah,
and I just always remember thinking, this is the best thing ever, creating a den in a tree.
It was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
It was so much fun. So I get that idea of when you're a kid, you just kind of want to be submerged by this kind of beauty.
Well, she's put in this lovely gravelly path, or a few gravelly paths, and then this stunning planting, again, prairie planting.
Very prairie, yes. We do love prairie planting. I think that's what's coming across here.
I think that's, exactly. She had two gorgeous children with her, and her son describes walking down the path and the bees going all over him. He was just beautifully enthusiastic about it all. She showed the plants that she's put in there. A lot she has taken seed from the beach.
Yep.
So she had that stunning sea holly, which was just electric in colour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Teasels as well from the beach.
Yeah, a purple toad flax as well. Lots of purples and yellows.
Yeah.
And kind of grassy colours. Obviously the Calumgrostis, because that's very Dutch.
She described it as a Dutch national grass.
Yes.
Which was interesting.
Absolutely.
And the garden used to be concrete slabs, didn't it? And she broke all those up, and then she sort of parts some of the plants, and you can see a little pile of rubble that she's kept there for all the insects. And
for the insects. So on. And I didn't know that insects would go into concretey gravel. I thought they went into more natural resources. But actually thinking about it, I did see, when I was last with you, in the path, there was a little bumblebee which crawled out of nowhere.
Oh,
and I was like,
gravel path.
Out of the gravel path. And so thinking about it now, that was possibly nesting down there somewhere.
I think it's really just nooks and crannies, isn't it? Shelter. It all provides shelter, holes for them to go into. So as far as they're concerned, it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, she also had fennel from the beach as well, which is a very kind of beachy, sandy sea kind of plant.
She said it grows bigger and stronger every year.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always helpful.
It's just perfect. And so all of these things together create this perfect lazy person's garden.
When she said that, I thought that's my favourite type of garden.
Exactly.
She basically just spends a weekend in March tidying and cutting back, and then the odd weekend here and there just to keep on top of it a little bit.
Exactly, and it just
how
looks
I want our
amazing.
hill to be, Sweet Pea.
I know. We need to go down that road, I think.
Yeah, we do. And also the fact that she spent very, very little money, so she's less precious about changing things. And that's a lovely position to be in.
That is a nice position to be in.
Then the thing that really made me laugh was when she explained that she'd basically finished with that space and decided she wanted to grow veg. She got into the idea of growing veg and fruit. Yeah. But she didn't want to disrupt this lovely meadow-like garden. So she decided to commandeer the parking space at the front. And after some negotiation with the husband, the car now stays out on the street. I love that. What I love about it is so many front gardens are being paved over to be parking spaces.
Yeah.
And she's done the absolute opposites and made it into a proper, thriving, productive veg garden.
I know, which the kids were loving.
Yeah.
It was really lovely to see because they were kind of digging up potatoes, which we know is just like a treasure hunt, and then cucumbers, just all sorts. There was everything there.
Yeah, really wonderful. Unfortunately, I could find absolutely nothing out about Flo.
Oh no,
which is
your
a real
shame. Did
shame.
not work.
Yeah, my cyber stalking.
You are no longer Sherlock Holmes.
I'm no longer Sherlock Holmes. So if Flo, by chance you're listening to this, please do get in touch because I would love to hear so much more about your garden.
Yes, we'd love to have a chat with you.
Monty points out how different his place is to Flo.
Very
which is so true. Whilst he's standing there tidying up his privet lollipops.
Yeah, exactly, which is like so not natural.
So not natural. And then he talks about that doghouse from his Chelsea Flower Show
from the
garden.
RHS. Yes.
And Ned is just the most perfect model, isn't he? Because there's Monty in the foreground, and in the background you then see the doghouse, and lying there kind of across the threshold is Ned, modelling
Ned
it for you.
Is such a model, but Ned's grown up with the camera crew, so Ned just knows what he's doing.
He's just in his element, isn't he? And I really love the backstory of it. So how Battersea didn't want the doghouse as part of the garden that got transferred there, and how the garden at the doghouse was just going to be plundered really for parts, and that seemed rather sad. So Monty decided they would have it, and that has got to be the best solution. I'm so happy that we're going to get to see it now.
I'm really happy
every week when Monty's presenting,
and how he's going to kind of do it up.
He's doing it up. He's put in some extra bits like sliding doors. It's going to be for all his pots, his big pots over the winter months to store them in there. So I think that's just a beautiful full circle that it's now in Monty's garden. The best place for it.
I think it's absolutely brilliant, and Ned loves it, of course.
Ned's very happy.
Yeah.
And then we go to jobs for the weekend.
Yes.
More jaunty music for this segment.
More jaunty music.
Trim back tomatoes.
Yeah.
And Monty was ruthless.
He was ruthless.
I guess I'm responsible for trimming back tomatoes now. And
you sure are.
I don't think I can be as ruthless as Mont.
But you're fine, because usually you have to start trimming. You have to trim back after 6 tiers of tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Do you see that? After you get 6 kind of tiers of bunches, you got to trim that back. But luckily, the last time I saw ours, they were still like way under 6 tiers. So
great,
you're fine.
Every cloud. Water your rhododendrons.
Yeah,
and remove seed heads.
Yes, of course.
So
I'll let you do that.
Yeah, thanks. Your favourite plant, Sweet Pea?
Was the Cosmos apricota.
Okay, of course it was.
It was.
Well, mine was Steve and Liz's agave.
Oh, yes, you did really love that.
I just thought theirs was particularly stunning. I've never really thought that much about them, but theirs just looked really, it was striking.
Yeah, it was striking.
And your top takeaway?
Using parking spots for vegetable patches.
Yes.
Was that yours?
Well, mine was basically all of Flo's garden. I really loved the meadow style planting. We keep talking about this actually every week about meadows and how we're going to get our meadow going.
Mm-hmm.
But this just reinforces it more. Yeah. I also loved the flower balls at that Bristol community garden, but I just want to know a bit more about them and how they water them.
How they work.
And then at the end, oh my goodness me, did you see when Ned leapt up on the bench? And leant on Monty, just rested his head on Monty's hand.
Once again, like a model, just like, I'm going to fall asleep here in your arms.
Is watching Ned giving you a bit of a Hobbs fix? Because don't you think Ned and Hobbs are so similar in character?
So similar.
Yeah, similar temperaments.
Little Hobbsy. Love her so much.
Oh. Right then, next week.
What have we got? Well, not next week.
24. Well, not next week. It's actually going to be the week after because there's the footy on. Apparently.
Yeah, there is the footy. I mean, who cares about footy when you've got gardens as well, honestly?
Yes. Football when you've got a garden to look after. As summer starts to make way for autumn, Monty is harvesting sweet corn, taking stock of his plants in pots, and pruning summer fruiting raspberries. Toby visits a magical garden in Wiltshire, where a collaboration between owner and gardener has created a stunning space full of beauty and daring design. And Francis is in a Cornish village to find out how pioneering technology is creating beautiful borders for pollinators. Ooh. That sounds very interesting, doesn't it?
Interesting stuff.
There's a self-taught grower who has been on an incredible journey transforming her allotment, plus a gardener for whom water and wildlife are truly precious.
Very important.
I'm really interested in that Francis
bit. Looking
bit.
Forward to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Francis bit as well.
Well, if you want to get in touch, here's how.
If you have any questions, feedback or comments, you can get in touch with us on our contact page at notjustagarden.co.uk or via our email, which is notjustagarden@outlook.com, or you can even find us on Facebook or Instagram and come visit us there and hit the follow button. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world if you could post a 5-star review. It really helps our podcast climb up the pile. If you didn't enjoy it, bigger polls from us, and please don't. For more Sweet Pea and Bear content, including videos, blogs, guest garden lists, early access to episodes, podcast outtakes, which are great, and community chats, come join us on our Patreon. You can find a link on our website.
Well, Sweet Pea, you better get back to your revision.
I sure will.
Back to the grindstone.
Back to the grindstone. Yes, I'm going to be doing some biochemistry, biophysics, and histology.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds like a great afternoon.
I'm not going to be doing that.
No,
but I will go check the tomatoes and see how many tears we've got on them.
I love how you're going to be in the garden now going, 1, 2, 3.
Right, Sweet Pea, I should let you get on. I don't want to keep you from your studies any longer.
Thank you very much. And also thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for listening. And we shall see you not next week, but the week after.
We sure will.
Bye-bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mummy Bear.